Thanks for joining us. I'm John Nelson. Here are your top headlines. A new law in effect today will hopefully get more people access to life-saving drugs to prevent overdoses. Now, pharmacy technicians are being trained, specially trained to prescribe Narcan. Previously, only pharmacists, physicians, and nurse practitioners could prescribe it. They still have regulations when it comes to who and how they're able to prescribe it, but they're not allowed to counsel customers on it like a pharmacist would. But they can look up the customer's medical profile and their risk factors like depression or previous opioid use and bring up the conversation on possibly getting a prescription.
But we can kind of just bring up the topic. We build a lot of personal relationships with our patients, and we can, just bring up the topic and possibly save a life.
Narcan can stop a drug overdose quickly. Idaho is the first state in the country attempting to extend this power to pharmacy technicians, which means more people can have access to the drug and have it on hand in times of crisis. The X Games may be over, but the work continues for Boise Skateboard Association, who plans on building small skate parks around town. The next project will be a skate park on the upper bench. It's part of a goal to put in parks all over the region to give kids a place of their own close to where they live, because sometimes kids just can't make it down to roads in downtown Boise.
Right now, the Boise Skateboard Association is working on funding for a park up on the bench, upper bench, so that we can get more area regional spots, places for neighborhood kids to be able to go and skate.
Boise had two skaters in the X Games qualifier, and even though Elliott Saxton and Dalton Beeson did not make it to the finals, they did show how the talent level continues to increase because Rhodes Skate Park is a world-class park. Float season on the Boise River officially kicks off tomorrow. Park officials say 125,000 people float the river every year, the most common trip from Barber Park down to Ann Morrison Park. City leaders are reminding the public that every trip that ends in fun starts with safety. It's float at your own risk, and the public needs to respect the river. Authorities are also reminding the public that alcohol, glass bottles, not allowed on the river, and all children 14 and under are required to wear a life jacket. You can rent safety gear and all the equipment you need to float at Barber Park.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Scott Norval with the On Your Side forecast.
Hot temperatures have returned to the Treasure Valley. Could be the hottest day of the season so far, but some high clouds have been dimming the sun. A view from the Red Lion Hotel early this evening shows that high thin cirrus actually kind of dimming that sunshine a little bit more in some locations. We've touched 90 in Boise. Actually touched 91, and we may even get just a little hotter than that. We'll have to see how it ends up. At 93 in Ontario, 93 in Mountain Home, almost 80 degrees in McCall today, and Haley did hit 82. High clouds, there they are streaming across the region, but they're not going to do too much. There is a cold front to the west that's going to come through, a dry cold front, but it will kick the wind up after midnight tonight. It's all spinning around this low pressure system. The little cool front will kind of slide on through, and that will bring in a drop in temperature tomorrow. It'll take this heat, kind of bring it down to the south a little bit, at least for a little while. This will return over the weekend, but for a few days it's going to take a break down to the south there, a vacation if you will. Breezy conditions tomorrow at 85, down to 81 on Wednesday, starting to come back up on the 4th of July, a comfortable morning, but 84 in the afternoon, and then we go from 84 Thursday to 94 on Saturday, so a scorching weekend ahead, but it will start out on the cooler side, which will be comfortable. I'll have another update coming your way right here later tonight.